Monstrous, my book on modern-day slavery, when I contracted a severe care. Bill, who was then 21, manages a shelter for homeless boys in Port-au-Prince. He took me in and attended to me daily as I lapsed in and out of consciousness. He found the chloroquine that kept me alive. The morning after the earthquake, I reached out to Miles Wright. He's the treasurer of Hearts with Haiti, the group under whose umbrella Bill's orphanage operates. He told me Bill was alive, but badly injured. Over the next 48 hours, Miles and I learned that Bill's condition was worsening. The following night, Miles and I convened in Fort Lauderdale. Through the extraordinary support of a friend, we were able to hire a small twin-engine plane. On Friday, some 72 hours after the quake, we reached the orphanage. It lay half shattered. All of the kids survived.
He's come a very long way. The first night when we brought him up, he was just in agony.
That's Hez Firth, a 24-year-old American volunteer nurse. I found her at Bill's bedside in her tiny clinic. Bill was obviously in terrible pain, but when he saw me, he managed to smile.
He was semi-conscious, just lying on the table, moaning and groaning.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep because he was in so much pain. He
Yeah.
couldn't move himself. Since then, he's still having a lot of pain, but he's definitely better than he was.
In the candlelight of Firth's clinic, I learned what had happened.
Something spoke to me. He said, Bill, go up in the roof and see how many kids are up in the roof.
At 4:51 p.m. on the day of the quake, Bill headed for the 7th floor garden at the top of Maison Saint-Joseph, a sanctuary of peace for some 20 boys who have been abandoned by their families or who, like Bill himself, were child slaves.
So when I got up there, I saw 5 kids. And I told them, guys, you have choice to do downstairs. Why don't you go and do your choice?
Yeah.
You leave. And then I stay up there. Something said, stay up there to see if anybody's coming up.
2 minutes later, the quake smashed open the building.
When I was on the roof, and I felt it. And I felt it, and I said, Lord, help me.
Yeah.
Help me. The rooftop, like, pushed me, left me up, and threw me like a bird.
All of that green stuff, that was the gazebo, and he was there.
The top 3 floors pitched northward, hurling Bill down nearly 80 feet.
Tell him what you told me about seeing it coming down towards you.
And when I was on the ground,
Yeah.
and I saw everything, all the roof coming down,
Yeah.
and something, I don't know, God said, Bill, I will give you strength, and whoa, and I rolled. When I rolled, and everything
Right behind him.
right behind me.
Wow.
And then
All the cement.
all the cement.
Yeah.
And then I was in the area where they keep all the dogs. So while I was there, I said, God,
The morning after I arrived, we rushed Bill by van to the airport. We faced resistance from the Marines guarding the entrance. Finally, a lieutenant named Brandon, disciplined but sympathetic, heard my plea. It's a matter of honor, I said. This man saved my life, and I need to help him. French medics gave Bill a morphine drip, and we loaded him, along with a 19-year-old American who survived the quake, onto our waiting charter.
I wanted to get your thoughts on record about why you were spared.
what I can say is, God kept me alive for a reason. when I see St. Joseph's, the tall St. Joseph Hills, he didn't collapse all the way to the ground. And it's a good sign for me.
Absolutely.
When you see the other building like Caribbean Market, it's completely flat.
It's fun.
And then the other building and completely flat. I have faith that God will rebuild St. Joseph's.
Yeah.
St. Joseph's reach out to thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I will keep doing the work that I'm doing.
There's a theory of massive disaster triage that advises that the first people who should receive treatment are doctors with non-life-threatening injuries. Though Bill is not a doctor, he has a demonstrated ability to improve the lives of hundreds and to resurrect his community and his country. Saving Bill means saving more lives.
What Miles said to me as we were in Fort Lauderdale waiting to come down, it really moved me. He said, around where I'm from, if your family's in trouble, you show up. But my attitude is, it's helping out a friend. And it's also a debt that I owe you.
How many people out there love me and how they care about me.
When we arrived with Bill in Fort Lauderdale, the Israeli trauma specialist who attended him said that he had seen some lucky patients since he first practiced medicine as a war medic in 1965, but Bill was certainly up there. We can debate the role of luck, I suppose, muttered Miles, who is an observant Christian. Maybe Bill has good fortune on his side. Maybe he has God. He certainly has friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Nathan.